is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that back. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon all, hope you're all well. Thank you very much for coming over and joining us for another Sunday lunchtime live. Hope you all had a great celebration weekend, those who celebrate it. Thanks to everybody who came over on Thursday for our Friday night live on Thursday. Yeah, is that confusing? We had Martin Sabian Smith on, some loads of information about obviously his finishing academy and him now reintroducing the stencils. So a massive thank you to each and everyone who came over to take part in that, and as always a massive thank you to Martin, Brian and Terry for making it entertaining. So it's hashtag week again, soon rolls round, and this month the hashtag, I think we've had this hashtag maybe last year or year before, but I want to again always see your interpretation of what the hashtag is. So this month's hashtag is an 8-inch bowl, no bigger, can be smaller but no bigger, but it needs to be textured. Doesn't matter whether it's textured on the outside, the inside, the top, however you want to texture it. But it needs, yeah, your bottom, you can texture your bottom if you really want to. But it needs to be textured. How you do this is totally up to you. There's several different ways you can do it. You could go for hand chiseling it, you could bash the hell out of it with a hammer, you could use an angle grinder on it, a texturing tool, a Dremel, however you want to texture it, but it needs to have some sort of texture on it. So I have a blank on the lathe, well not on the lathe, but sitting there ready to go. It's 7 1/4 inches across by round about 2.5 inches deep. So I'm going to just texture the outside of mine, maybe the rim, I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll see how it goes. And then we will go from there. What I'm going to do to it after I've textured it, I'm not 100% sure really. I'm going to obviously chuck some colour on it, but I'm not 100% how I'm going to chuck some colour on it. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. Just quickly before we go, or make a start, don't forget, Maker's t-shirts are still for sale at the Made Me store. They are not my Made Me store, sorry, my Teespring store. The link should be in the description of this live if you would like to support this year's Makers charity, which we are going to announce in the next couple of weeks, so keep your ears open for that. Then all the funds that we raise on this t-shirt will go to this year's Makers charity. So if you'd like to support us, go over and get yourself a Makers t-shirt. So with that, I'm going to make a start on yes, I was just deliberate like that. I'm going to make a start by putting this into the lathe, on the lathe, and Nick is going to welcome you all in.
So, good afternoon, everybody. We have Wood Wizardry by Colin. Roy's the boy, that should be a sheep. Gerard the French Turner's on. Hello, Gerard. Sorry, there won't be no chopping carrots today. My freezer has just got so much stuff in it. We're trying to use some of the stuff out of there. Colin would like to know if anyone's turned African blackwood. So we also have Norman Greenwell. We also have Paul Finley Woodturning at home. We have Pete from Twisted Tweez. Ward Wilson.
They're all going to go now. You're not telling them you're going to cut veg.
Michael McEwen's on as well. We also have Dr. Bob. Doug Miller at Wood Spun Around. Door 60. Barry's Wood Creations. Brian at Heartwood Turning. Grandpa Jim Woodturner. I need to do that. Oh my goodness. So let's just jump the whole chat. Doug Miller at Wood Spun Around, I think I said him actually. Todd at Glen Cove Woodworks. We also have Klondike Craftsman. Lucy Bundy Rowe. Rex B. Graham Brown. Roger Kent. Oh, Rex B's watching this and the World War II aircraft flying at Coningsby.
Oh, let's go and do that instead.
Oh no, it's Andy's on as well.
Oh no.
Joe Senior. Hope you're well, Joe.
Just sharpen that gouge up.
Ruby Clare as well. Robert Bortwood. Ivy Woodshed. Right, I think I've missed some, but if I repeat your name, I apologise. Chris Dodds. It's just been one of them mornings. Alex of Wooden Things. William Kenny. Mike Evans. Christina Michael Heseltine. So I'm trying to read some of the chat as well.
Oh, what?
Andy said the tool marks count as texture.
Andy, no.
And Brian said, yeah, as long as they're deliberate. Deliberate. Always deliberate, Brian. Cough, cough. Lynn's handcrafted wood signs. Paul Heighton agrees returner. I think I've got everybody. If I haven't, just put a comment in at the bottom and I will give you a shout out. We've not had a very good morning. Keep dropping things. Steve keep dropping things.
It's been very busy. It's been very busy. Right, so welcome everybody. Thank everybody for coming over. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this round. It's slightly off round, and then we're going to face the front. Going to be using a 3-inch. Cool, that'd be a massive bowl gouge, right? 3-inch. A 3/8 bowl gouge. I've just sharpened this up. I only just unpacked my stuff about 15 minutes ago, or 10 minutes before the live, should I say, from Friday night. So
well, you got in, didn't you, Friday late, and then was out yesterday.
Yep. So anyway, let's go for it. Right. So we're going to round this off round. As always, it's being held onto the chuck with a 54mm Forstner bit. So I'm going to clean this front edge off because this has all got wax on it. And then we're going to create our bottom. I will be putting a mortise in the bottom of this. The reason being is this is a practice piece. So if I want to, I can clean it up and do whatever I want to do to it. So let's get started. Oh, my lathe don't want to go.
Oh no.
Oh no, my lathe don't want to go.
I was feeling neglected, I should think.
Yeah. Should always turn it off. That's because I forgot to turn it off on Thursday night. That's what it is. Give it a few seconds to reboot and that'll be fine. Right, turn it back on. Here we go. Right, so let's round this off. As you can see, there's a little bit of a wobble on there. So we're just going to gently turn this off by using our bowl gouge. So a nice little gentle cut across the bottom edge just to clean this off. Get it back round, and then we can make a start on creating our shape that we require. And as always with the hashtag week, it's your interpretation of what you do, what shape you use, how you texture it, whatever you want to do to it. The more adventurous you are, the better it will look, I think, sometimes. So as we come to the end, we're just going to ease off the pressure just so we get a nice glide by. We don't want the gouge to jump across as we're coming to the end there. It's a piece of Ashrex, that's what it is. So we are round.
Didn't get that far.
Oh, sorry.
Brian from Turning Things Around is on as well.
Hi, Brian.
And oh no, it's Andy said, Nikki, you dropping things, it is not unusual. Steve, on the other hand.
Right, so our spot in the middle. Let's put it on a camera that you can
Barry
see.
said, brilliant demo Friday night, Steve.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you very much.
You've answered Rex's question.
So we've just pinpointed our centre. We need a 50, well, anywhere between 52 and 55 millimetre force hole for a mortar. So I'm going to go in the middle, 27 millimetres to give me 54.
You're welcome, Robert.
So that will be there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use a parting tool to create a tram in there for our mortise. So I'm using a parting tool, going to keep my handle low, and we're just going to gently nudge this up to. It's going to bounce a little bit because the piece isn't perfectly flat yet. So we're going to get past that bounce, and then it should just gently flow in. And we're just going to take that, because I've got to clean up, I'm going to take that about 5 millimetre deep. And then by the time we've cleaned up our edge, our mortar should be anywhere between 3 and 4 millimetres deep. So that's our mortise. So now we're going to go back to our bowl gouge and just clean out that bit of material.
Rex said my voice sounds a bit like I'm in a tunnel.
In a tunnel?
It could just be my voice, Rex, to be honest.
Like that. We're just going to clean out this mortise, and then we will. I'll put a little bit of texture in there actually. Seems it's texture, skew.
Lewis said perhaps your mic, perhaps maybe Steve's mic is picking up Nikki too. Does it sound bad or not? Pete said smooth is a texture, isn't it?
So we're going to put a little bit of a chamfer on the inside of that because the way the jaws work on the chuck. So just put a little bit of a return on there, a little bit of a dovetail inside there. And we'll just use the skew just to flatten that out. Just like so. Going to put a little mark. Oh, actually, we're going to clean that first. Put a mark in there. So now we're going to flatten this bottom edge off, just to true this piece of wood up, and then we can start.
Everyone says it sounds fine. Oh, apparently it comes and goes. Ah, Benjamin's on.
Hi, Ben. So we're just going to put a little tram line in there where our foot's going to be. That's where my foot's going to be. So now we can start removing some of this material here to get the shape of our bowl. So let's just start removing some of this. So again, the shape is all down to you.
Timothy Wilkins is on.
Hi Timothy, how you doing? So I'm just going to revert back to some pull cuts. Just to...
Benjamin said he's working his way through an out-of-date cheese string.
That chewy, is it, Ben? There's some nice gentle pull cuts, just bringing that to create the edge of my
Copper Owl
bowl.
Woodturning's on.
Hi Rob, how you doing?
Hi Steve, I'm not hi Nikki, you know. I'm just here for the entertainment.
Are they not talking to you?
No.
Are you crying in the background?
I am.
You'll
I've got
go for it.
myself to sleep tonight.
So we're using that wing on our gouge to create our pull cuts to shape our bowl. Allowing the... So we're just going to do a little bit of a push in there just to take some of that meat away from that edge. I want to try and get a bit of a more of a curve in there, so I want to try and remove some of this material here. So let's just take a little bit of that away.
Top it. Everyone say hi to Nikki. Robert put you in the main event, Nikki.
Oh, you creep, Robert.
Robert Bortwood. Andy put, hello Nikki, how are you today? You can mute Steve if you need to talk. I don't need to mute him, I just interrupt him. Hashtag Nikki always first. Doug put.
Right, so let's just gradually shape this in.
Rex put, Nikki, do you like watching Steve use the gouges or the easy wood tools? I don't really watch him, to be honest. I'm horrible. And to be honest, I wouldn't even know what the difference. Why would I, mate?
No, you wouldn't. You are correct. Right, so just a gentle pass now, just to clean up this final edge. Just some nice little whispers off there.
Wald's put howdy Nikki. Todd put hashtag flowers for Nikki. Well, it's so funny because we went to the Sandringham Wood Show, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago? And one of the gentlemen there has made some tulips. And I said to him, can you show Steve how to make them? I said, I quite like some of them. So Steve weren't impressed, mind you, but hey ho.
Tulips. So just going to flatten that foot out.
Benjamin put, yes, Nikki is the main event. Steve is just like the annoying adverts that just get in the way.
Oh, thanks for that, Ben.
Lewis put, when is Nikki going to turn on a live? Never.
Turn my skin blue.
No, I couldn't. It's not me, is it, mate?
Never say never. Right, so we are going to sand that now. We're going to sand that up to 240 grit. I know I'm going to texture it, but I still want to sand it because the bits I don't hit with a texturing tool, I want them still to be a fairly good finish. So we're going to turn the extraction on, put lathe on a little bit lower. Going to use our first grit to remove any imperfections. And then we're going to gradually work through the grits up to 240 grit. Or should we go higher? I don't know. Let's have a look. We'll see what it looks like when we get there. I'm just going to stop that and have a look.
Robert, if Steve can do it, so can you. No.
A little bit of a tear out in there, so we'll just...
Andy put Nikki next week. You stream chopping carrots while Steve earworms.
Yeah.
This is how you chop a carrot without cutting your fingers off. Wouldn't dare be. I'm glad I ain't cutting nothing today. I think I would cut my finger off. The way things have been going this morning. Knocked the bin over. Oh, so all the rubbish went over the floor. Nearly knocked the coffee pot on the floor.
That would have been a disaster, that would have.
Which one, the coffee pot or the...
The coffee pot.
Yeah, because I ain't got any more at the minute. Me with no coffee. Oh, that's dangerous, isn't it?
Right, so I'm just going to check. A little bit of a tool, I don't know, a little bit of tear out in there, so I just want to try and get that out.
Gerard put imperfection, you Steve never. Where's Mr. Terry today?
Him and Ruth have gone to a craft fair.
Oh, very nice.
Still in there.
Sid's repurposing's on?
Yeah, it might be an imperfection in the wood, actually.
No. Nothing you've done then.
I'm just going to get a small bowl gouge and run around there, see if I can get it out.
You run. First for everything, I suppose.
Right, so I've just got a little bit of an... I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of a line in there. Might be a bit bright with that camera over the top, actually. Just see a little bit of a line in there. I don't know if that's an imperfection in the wood or whether it's a tear out. But I will just run the gouge. So I'm using a little tiny 10mm bowl gouge. Just going to run a little tiny shiver over that. Hopefully that'll get it out. That's a little bit of tear out. I'll just have a look at that. We'll just sand that back up and see what it look like.
Is Terry on tonight?
Should be, I think. Right, let's have a look at that.
Benjamin put, I've been finding loads of imperfections in the wood I use lately. They all look like tool marks or 60 grit sanding patterns. It's no coincidence, I'm sure.
Yeah, it must have been a bit of tear out that's gone now. No. So now we can move up the grits, just clean that tenon up at the end there.
It's not a 10 in, it's a 20 in.
No, it's not a tenon even, that's a mortise. What are you doing?
Ribbon paper, sorry, is that annoying?
Right, So let's quickly move up the grits now.
That's what I'm done, nearly. I'm done now. Sorry, sir. Oh, what's that one? That one can go. Where are they then? Sorting stuff to shred and burn, whatever we're going to do with it. Bernie. Thank you, Pete. He's put Terry's link in for tonight. Is Brian on tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? Yeah, it should be, I think.
Klingspor Abrasives is on.
Hi, Rob. How you doing, mate?
So Gerard said, I must thank yesterday, the coronation. It seems all Cork were in front of the TV watching. We were never so quiet for breakfast and lunch. Still got paid for doing nothing. Thank you very much. We recorded that, so we can fast forward the rubbish bits and watch the good bits. Right, done all my jobbies. So Brian will be on at 7:15 tomorrow, but he's not done his link yet. Best you get on with it then, bud.
So final grit, one more, 240. Then we can look at how we're going to texture it. Do, 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 do.
Brian's been busy rearranging his workshop this morning. Oh, Wood Dude's on. He's missed what the hashtag is this month.
It's a no bigger than 8-inch bowl, textured. Textured how you liked. Like even, not liked. Whatever pattern you want.
Andy was out laying paving slabs yesterday, so he missed the coronation. If anyone goes to UK for Make Essential, say hi to Eric from Makes a Wood Sign. He'll be doing a demonstration at 1:15.
I'm not going, unfortunately.
When is it?
Next weekend.
No. Brian Paul's put a message on there. He wants to know if you're free tomorrow afternoon.
Right, so that's sanded up to 240 grit. So now we're going to texture it. Like I say, texturing it, you can texture it several different ways, how you want to do it. You can use hand carving tools. You can use a ball peen hammer. You can use, I suppose you could use a wire wheel. Don't know how that would work though. You could use a Dremel. Anything you really want to texture, really, as long as it's going to put some texture in it. So what I'm going to do is I was toying with the idea of either using the Dremel or using the Proxon. I quite like using the Proxon because you get some nice effects with it. So I think I'm going to go that way. I don't want to come right down to my foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line just beyond where I'm going to come down to. And I'm going to just sort of bring it from wherever, say where it starts to curve to the top. So I don't want to see texture right round to here. I want to see it on the edge of the bowl. So maybe from here somewhere, perhaps see it. So texture just from there to there in that area there.
Woodturning with Barry's on.
Hi Barry, how are you? So we're going to run it doesn't matter if the odd little bit comes over that, but we're going to try and make that as neat as we can get it. So we're going to first off put some dimples in it with the texturing tool, and then I'll carve some lines in it quite deep because I want the definition of the different depths of the line. So when I come to color it, it's going to give me a high and a low points. That's going to make it more effective. So as always with the Proxon, before you plug it in, make sure it's turned off at the back there because it is a rocker switch, and if it's on, it will start as soon as you turn it on. Holding it in one hand, plug it in, turn on the electric. So if it does fire up, it's secure in your hand. It's not going to jump around the bench and end up causing you and somebody else some injury. So we're going to go overhead so you guys can see what I'm trying. Actually, I could put you on a camera so you could actually see over my shoulder. Might be a bit better. Let's see if we can quickly do that for you. Give you a bit better view. So we'll just drag this camera from behind here. This is a bit temperamental, this camera, so we'll see if it works. It's like a woman. It's got a mind of its own. So let's just put that camera on, which is that camera, I believe. Oh, there it works. There you look at that. Right, so you should be able to see a little bit better when I texture in here, because I'm going to hold the Proxon down here to texture, because it's easier than trying to get out there. Right, so just make sure you still got audio, which you have. So I'm going to turn the Proxon on, and then I'm just going to start by marking it here, there, and everywhere. Again, don't want to really go over that line if I can get away with it. Trying to get them random so you're not all in line. But don't try too hard, because the more random you try and get them, the more uniform they normally look, which is a bit of a... This is the rasp bit in this. You can get the Arbortech bit, which has got teeth on it, which is a bit more aggressive. But this quite a nice blade, this is. I think this is the blade that Brian used the other night when he did his textured bowl. So you can see we've just got randoms on it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put some lines in it. So I'm going to come from the bottom and I'm going to gradually bring it up. And we're just going to keep doing that on different patterns. And we're going to go over this a couple of times to give us different effects. Again, trying to keep it random.
Brian put fancy something nice to eat. Anything I could find was vanilla ice cream. That'll have to do. Colin said, does laser engraving count as texture and all?
Whatever. Texture is texture, isn't it?
So I'm going to put it out there. Steve will moan at me, I know he will. But is anybody else as fussy as Steve? So I said to him today, I've got a bit of gammon. Shall I cook it? Yep. As long as you're not going to do new potatoes with it. What was I going to do? New potatoes. I said I could do pork. What are you going to do with it? A roast? Yep. He don't want potatoes. He don't want veg. He don't want pasta. He's so fussy, so awkward, aren't you?
Yes, darling.
Could have burgers on the barbecue, but we ain't got the barbecue.
Oh, no,
You
that's
got the
it.
barbecue, you
Oh,
all.
no, that's a point.
Andy put, nope, Nikki. See, he wouldn't have cared. Do you know what most men would say? Oh, my wife cooks roast, love it. I do cook a mean roast, I do think.
Yeah, but when you've had them for 25 years, every single Sunday.
25? More than that. You don't have it every Sunday. I don't do a roast every Sunday. Didn't have a roast. Oh, we did do have a roast last Sunday. You weren't feeling very well, was you, mate? Because you didn't do a live last Sunday, did you?
No.
Because you weren't feeling well.
I don't want big blocks of untextured bits, hence why I'm just going around checking.
Brian said, give him a plate of chips. Oh, goodness, we've got this. Right. Latilia De Lio is on as well.
Lionel. Hi, Lionel.
Can you change it to Lionel, please? Robert put let him get his own, Nikki. Oh, do you know what? He'd just have like a bowl of cereal. Gerald said Nikki told him to cook his own if that's the case.
Right, so just put a little few deeper bits in here.
Benjamin did say he's with you, roasting as boring as.
I don't mind a roast dinner, but I just don't want one every single weekend.
We don't have one every single weekend.
You should be ashamed of yourself not cooking your husband a roast dinner every single weekend. Right, so there's the texture. Don't know if you can how well you can see that. Oh, let's have a look on the overhead. Oh, look, stream looks a bit covered in dust. So let's have a look at it on the overhead. So you can see all textured. I don't want nothing too big of bits. So there's a few bits. Just double check it, make sure we ain't got no big chunky bits left. Actually, I think I might texture that a bit more.
Is it going to be? Are they going to colour it as well, or if they want to?
They can do whatever they want.
Are you colouring that?
I am colouring it.
Are we surprised?
I'm actually going to put some more lines in it because I want it more texture on that.
John Mooney's on.
Right, John.
He said Steve's lucky. I only get the take it or leave it choice. Mixed grill with chips is what Nikki should cook for you, Steve. Shut up, Pete.
What was that?
Mixed grill with chips.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? No, I'm not worried about a mixed grill because I don't think I could eat all the meat, but I could have a steak and chips.
Oh, we haven't had steak for a while either, have we? We may have to go shopping after this. Mind you, I've got the gammon out now, so. Lucy said he's struggling to get Andy out of the garage. I'm going to get angry in a minute. Oh no, Lucy's going to turn green. Brian put, anyone else thinks that Steve's cruising for a bruising sometime soon. We laugh at that, don't we? Because what did I say to you? You're cruising for a punch? I'll just cook it. He has got literally 2 choices, like I say. I may roast the new potatoes, I don't know yet. Depends what mood I'm in when I finish my jobs.
That's better. I'm happy with that. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a nylon wire wheel, but nylon wheel. You can use a wire brush for this if you require. So it's like a nylon wheel. So I'm going to go and clean this off now. Just
One thing I have noticed with us being together all these years is it's better probably not to tell you what we're having.
Yep.
Just serve it up, because I could say to him, oh, should I do so-and-so Tuesday? And he'd perhaps go, oh, no, I don't want that. And so if I want to plan the meals for the week, I generally don't tell him, because it's just easier. So
we're just going to get this over
that
the
looks
top.
Nice. I like that pattern.
Over the top of this, just to clean all the furry bits out of it.
Rob from Kingswell said you're definitely digging a big hole. Gerard said, no, I know what Steve needs. Fried lamb's liver. Pinkish with red onion. Sure, he can do that himself.
Definitely not.
Dr. Bob, good idea, Nikki, for a new show. Shopping with Nikki. Roy said, like it or lump it. Yeah, that's what I've got to take that attitude with him, Roy. Andy, you really are going to get in trouble. He put, I always complain about what the chefs cook. Mind you, I think you do the cooking, don't you, Andy? Alex said nothing wrong with new potatoes with butter. Lucy said she loves calf's liver.
So does the calf.
I ain't got no garlic infused oil, Pete. Can I make my own, do you reckon?
It's not infused then, is it?
I've got garlic and I've got oil. Oh yeah, I like cheese on. My daughter does smashed potatoes and she puts cheese on them. That's nice. It never tastes the same when you do it yourself, though. Oh, Gerard said goose fat is much tastier. No. Don't like peanuts, Rob, so we can't have peanuts on the top. Anyway, enough talk about food. What colours are you going to do it, mate?
Don't know. I normally do the background black, but I'm thinking of a different colour for a change. So we're just getting that as clean as we can get it. We don't want it perfectly smooth, but obviously we don't want no fairy bits on it. When we come to colour it, we want to see the colour on the shape of it, not actually on the rough texture. Right, so let's just get the airline on that and blow all that dust off. I think what I'll also do is just get a bowl gouge and take down this edge just to clean that edge up.
Pete put, yes, Nikki, I always make my own olive oil, smash a load of garlic into it and some of that green stuff that makes it look posh. They call it basil. I don't have no garlic cloves. I only got like
Granules.
fresh, not fresh, like garlic granules, and I might have some garlic paste, but that's about it. So when have they got to have this to you? Let's have a look at the
2 weeks last Friday.
2 weeks last Friday. You're an idiot. So the 20. Are you doing it on the 21st then? 2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks last Friday. I said that.
Last Friday. Oh, Friday gone.
That's last Friday.
You're an idiot. 19th then to Steve. I'll put his email in. If you can email the pictures.
Just take that edge off.
Norman said, why spoil perfectly good potatoes by putting cheese on them? Chris Dodd said, I love this cooking advice with the guy in the background doing his turning.
Right, so we need to seal that now. So let's get some spray, sand and sealer on it. Give it a couple of coats so it's nice and sealed.
Dr. Bob said, what grit?
What grit? What grit?
Comparison grit is your red wheel.
Ooh, I don't know. Good question, that is. I don't know. Let's have a look, see if it says on the wheel. I think it's more of a deburring grit than wheel than anything else. It's not actually got.
Woodturning with Barry's got to go. He's got to take his meds and have a sleep.
See you later, Barry. So it's not actually a. It's like a wire wheel. It's not really gritted. It's just for. It's actually they actually use them or sell them for taking rust off of things. So it's more for that sort of thing rather than that.
Well, he said he better get a move on because he's away on the 19th.
Right, so let's get some sand and sealer on this. Oops, that camera in a bit better. Right, so making sure we get nice and deep into that
Clean
texture.
Spores said they normally come in at either 120 or 320 grit.
There you go. Thank you, Rob. So this is going to take a couple of coats of sand and sealer to make sure we get this well sealed.
Why'd you put that on?
To seal the wood before we put our colour on. As always, if you're putting on a paint, you put a sealer on first. If you're putting on a stain, you stain it before you seal it. So we're just going to get the hairdryer and dry that off.
Hairdryer?
Yeah, your hairdryer. I got it from downstairs upstairs.
Yeah, right.
Hot air gun.
So Clean Spores said it's SIC abrasive, so not like the normal abrasives you'll use. Brian said, I knew Rob would have the answer. I just bought a set of those.
Yeah, they do cup ones as well. They don't just do them ones. They do a cup one.
Oh no, Andy, the Valley Woodturner Row is just Bundy Row has just joined the Funnel Club.
Uh-oh.
Malcolm Douglas is on. He said, hi all. I'm sorry I'm late.
Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
Oh no, it's Andy said, Brian, where they've $12.99.
I got that one from Tool Station.
For $12.99.
No, well, no, it was only about £6, I think. So I'm going to give that another coat of sand and sealer.
Doug Miller put, Andy, they don't make a good soup bowl that way.
We've all done it, mate.
It's when you do it live, that's not very good.
I did twice in 2 weeks.
As we tell the children at school, you learn from your mistakes. Obviously,
Yeah.
you didn't learn the first time, so you had to do it again.
If you don't make mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. Right, so that's dry.
I was waiting for it. I thought he was going to say something else.
What?
Something about being unkind to me, but you didn't, so.
I'm never unkind to you. I'm always unkind.
Oh, you are.
Right, so colour. Let's have a look. Something I don't normally use.
Well, you've used them all, I should think.
No, I haven't. I've got some graduate colours here that I bought ages ago and not even used yet. So let's see what we can do with those. So I have titanium white, gold, metallic green, metallic pink, metallic brown, which actually looks like bronze, and silver. So we want a dark base colour and then lighter colours over the top of it. So,
Rob from Kingsville said the guy that made WD-40 famous was always saying dare to fail.
yeah, if you don't fail, you don't try hard. You're not trying hard enough. That's what I was always told anyway. Actually, I think I'm going to spray that black and then
Well,
put
you
some.
said you weren't going to use
I know,
black.
but I want to do.
It's a good base coat, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good highlights lighter colours.
Perhaps the bronze would be nice there if it is a bronzy colour.
Well, it's metallic brown, and it does look like bronzy colour. Right, I'm going to spray that black first. I know I said I weren't going to, but I am going to. And then I'll dry brush some different colours over the highlighted pieces, over the higher pieces to highlight the texture. So this is chestnuts, ebonizing lacquer. So a couple of light coats over this, just to don't put it all over in one thick coat because they'll just end up taking ages to dry.
Colin said metallic green. He done nothing like green. Oh, yeah, I suppose. Oh no, it's Andy said looks a bit like bamboo texture.
Yeah. So just put a little bit in our base. As they say, it's all about the base. So we're just going to give that another gentle coat over the top just to make sure we get in all the nooks and crannies. So we just gently dry that off.
Roy said plum.
Plum.
Kingsford said, okay, so now you could do nighttime jungle. Pete said, they do say the guy who never made a mistake is still unmarried.
Just quickly dry that off. Need to make sure this is really well dry, because when we come to dry brush, if it's not dry, then that'll just smudge and mix in with the black.
Well dry. Is that even the...
Well dry. Well
It's
dry.
not dry. Well dry.
Well dry. We're just going to check it, make sure we've got no wood colours sticking through. You can see the wood through the base, got a little bit there. You can see the wood. So I'm just going to give that another light coat, just hopefully to get those areas where we're soaked in a bit more than the others. Now I'm spraying this across my piece that way. The reason being is I won't get very much on this edge. I want to try and keep this edge as clean as I can. So when I come to do the inside, I haven't got to worry about getting too much paint off the top edge of the piece.
Lucy's made an orange loaf cake that's risen like a volcano.
Oh, there she blows.
Brian said, true, Pete, and some of us have made the same mistake twice.
I take it Michelle's not in the chat. Right, so let's just...
He's just annoyed that he's had to eat ice cream because he had nothing else. Steve always says it's too expensive to divorce me, so just keep putting up with me.
It's cheaper to keep you than it is to get rid of you.
You won't be able to live without me. You're not commenting, are you?
No comment.
Rob said, is it National Husbands Digging Holes Day? Yeah, it must be.
Let's make sure it's dry. See if it's dry. It's a little bit tacky. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hi, Amy.
So what colours are we reckoning? I've got pink, green, silver, bronze, gold and white. 3 colours I want.
Right, same again. Pink.
Pink, green, silver, bronze, gold, white.
So that's only 4 colours.
No, that's 6 colours and I want 3.
Silver, pink, bronze, gold and white. That's 6. 5.
Right, listen. Pink, green,
Oh, green.
silver, bronze, gold and white.
Anyway, I'm going back to the chat. I don't know. Right, let me have a look. Someone just come on. I can't. Raymond Wise is on.
Hi, Raymond. How are you?
Doug Miller's got to go. He said he'll watch the rest later. Take care,
Yeah,
Doug. Wivey said, you do realise that if Michelle is in your live layer, Brian will tell her. Oh, live later, I'm saying.
Right, that's dry now.
Amy said pink and silver. Very wise, Steve. That was one of those questions of which any answer could result in an elbow in the ribs at 3 a.m. Robert Bortwood said gold and green.
Right, so there's the piece.
Dr. Bob said gold.
Well, everybody's saying gold, so let's go
Pink.
for gold.
John Mooney says pink, green, and yellow. White, green with silver highlights, said Robert Klingsford. Oh no, it's Andy, said green, bronze, and gold.
What's the second most popular colour?
Colin says silver, gold, and white. That sounds good. Pink, green, and gold, says John.
Green seems quite popular, so that's two
Green,
colours.
silver, bronze, silver, and pink.
So I need one more. I've
Green.
got gold and green.
Brian would turn things around, said defo the bronze. Benjamin said, Nikki, if it gives you any more bother, shove a 1-inch spindle gouge. Rough and gouge where the sun don't shine.
That's not a nice pen, is it? Right, so we're going to go for green,
White.
gold, and bronze. They're the three most popular colours that have popped up. So I'm going to get some gloves on.
Gloves.
Get a big brush. Turn the extractor off now. I don't need that on, do we? Right, so I'm going to dry brush this texturing area. So you've all seen me dry brush before, so it's going to be exactly the same principle. But I've never used these. I haven't used these colours before, so we'll see how they go. So let's go for the bronze first.
I've got to read this out. Gerard said, there is a saying in France, women are to men what grass is to the cows. We can't live without them.
But we can try. Right, so bit of bronze.
Len's got to go. Take care, Len.
See you then. So again, it's always about dry brushing. So we're going to take nearly everything off the brush. And then we're going to go this way for this one, I think. Well, there's nothing going on there. So we're going to go this way for the bronze. If I actually shows it shining up, I can't see if it's on there or not.
Oh no, it's Andy said, Nikki, if Steve really annoys you, just move his tools around. Didn't think of that.
Well, that ain't shining up on there, surely not. I can't see no different.
Shirley?
Surely, I
Who's
can't see no
Shirley?
different on it. Right, let's get rid of that graduate paint then. And get a decent paint. Bronze.
That's a nice colour as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't see it on there though.
No, you can't.
So we'll get rid of that.
You got your glasses on.
Who said that?
No, you can't see it.
Can you grab me some water, please?
Oh, here in your water. You got a pot, or do you want me to get one out here? Do you want me to get rid of that?
Well, yeah, don't put it on top of the dirty water.
Oh, I can't take my head sick.
Right, so we'll change over to the Joe Sonias. It's not really showing up on that black, so obviously this needs to be a base color rather than an overlay color. So let's go to the Joe Sonia metallics. Unfortunately, I haven't got green, but we've got bronze. I'm sure we've got bronze. Yep, brushed copper, near enough the same color. Get rid of that off my board. So they would obviously work well, just straight over whatever. But oh, yeah. Wash that brush out.
Right. Pings will say heading off to cook the wife's dinner. Have a great day tomorrow. Off tomorrow, everyone. Malcolm Douglas said overhead camera.
Overhead.
Lucy said I'm going to have to go. I was going to wander down the street party for a bit of some cake, then have carrots to chop. Have fun. See you later. Pete said another saying in France, let them eat cake.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get rid of these and we'll use the rainbow waxes. Oh, they're vibrant. I like them rainbow waxes.
Lucy said Shirley is a town near Southampton. Yeah, we've heard that one before.
So let's go for the rainbow waxes because they're nice and vibrant.
Do you paint them on as well?
No, you put them on with your finger.
Oh, great.
So we have, I need to get some more of these, aqua blue, red, green, and vivid blue.
Put them on
So
the camera.
they will be on the camera. It should be coming up. So they're the colours we've got. So let's go with the.
Apparently I'm echoing now.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be because there's no stream thing me on. Right. So I'm gonna put it on a finger, and then we're just gonna put it on some of the high spots. And it's all about getting over the top of that high texture. Just laying my finger on it, just to gently cover some of those. Don't want to be doing all of it because obviously we've got our other colours to go in it as well. So that's the blue. We can always come back and put a little bit more blue on if we need to, but we'll call that it for now. Now these are water based, so you can use the water to remove it from your hands, your finger.
You're wearing gloves, aren't you?
I am wearing gloves.
Oh, that don't matter.
Well, it does, because you can't put the next colour over the next colour. Right, so we're going to go with green next.
How many fingers you got?
6. And 2 thumbs.
Use a different finger for each colour.
So then the next one is a little bit green. Again, we're just going to blend this into certain places. And again, we're just highlighting those high points. We're not highlighting loads. We don't want to try and be on the same places as the blue because we want to see some of the blue through it. Like so. So let's get rid of that.
Oh no, it's Andy said, love that green. It does look really nice.
That is a nice green actually, really nice green. Very vibrant. So
It's the
next colour.
word you like, isn't it? Vibrant. Moist
Vibrant.
and vibrant.
Wonder if they do a vibrant moist. Right, so final next colour is our aqua blue. This is a nice colour as well, aqua blue. So we're just going to put a few little bits here and there.
Six fingers.
And these dry quite quickly, these waxes, so you don't have to wait too long for them to cure. And like I said, the good thing is with them, they're water based, so if you don't put them somewhere you don't want them, you can just wipe them off with a bit of water.
Even after it's dry. Oh, no. I suppose you're going to seal it anyway, aren't you? So
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to seal over the top of these. So the last colour is the red. The red always seems to bring it alive, I think.
what I'm asking though is, will the colours just come off?
No, they shouldn't do.
I was just asking a question. Are you allowed to ask questions?
But are you?
Yes. Colin said he's got a purple one that's really bright.
Yeah, I want to get some of the more colours because they are nice and vibrant.
Where'd you get them from?
These come from Brian. Brian sent me these.
See, Ireland then.
So like I say, I think the red just brings it alive. I think I might just put a little bit more blue in there. Get rid of this off my glove. It's red. So I think, let's have a look, let's just go for a little bit more blue. It's not really a lot of blue in there. Bit of blue there. There's not a lot of blue there.
God, don't time fly. I didn't realise it was that time.
What's the time?
2 o'clock. It's 2:15.
Oh, right, so I think that'll do. So as you can see, I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but get rid of these. So, like I say, I suppose if you wanted to, you could put them on with a brush. But I like to get my finger in there and put them on with my finger. And like I say, the good thing is when they dry really quick, so you don't have to wait around too long for them to dry. But what we will do is, what we'll do is just quickly waft the hot air gun over the top of that just to make sure they are dry.
Amy said Olivia's watching. Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Olivia. Just make sure they are dry before we turn it. So there we have on that one. So there's the bottom. There's the camera. So there's the bottom. The texture. As you can see, you can still see the black below it, and then the actual colour is just sitting onto the top edge of the colour. So let's get it flipped and turn the inside out quickly. So I'm gonna.
Amy said Olivia's just said she loves the pattern.
Oh, thank you, Olivia. You've got good taste, young lady. Right, so let's move this camera out of the way now. So we're going to remove this inner edge. I'm going to leave this edge here natural. I will just clean it up because there's a little bit of overspray on it, you can see. So let's just move all this out of the way. So we're going to use 3/8 bowl gouge just to clean it up. Right, so let's start removing some of that waste material. So handle low, we'll give that tram line and start doing our cut. As we come to the middle, just close the flute a little bit. That shouldn't jump out like that, but maybe I was pushing a little bit hard. So try again. So handle low. I think my gouge a bit blunt, I'll change it. So coming to the middle. As we come to the middle, just gently close the flute a little bit. Just so we just pop that little core out the middle there. I'll change my gouge because it seems a bit blunt. What's that? So I'm going to leave a little bit of the core in the middle there. and then we'll come back and finish that off when we get closer to our desired thickness.
Always the boy said, look, that's looking good, Steve.
Hey, Roy. So as we get further out to our bowl, we obviously need to bring our handle round further, because wherever that bevel points is where our gouge is going to point. If we come in like that, we're just going to go across like that. We don't want to do that. We want to try and follow the shape of our bowl. So we're going to start in there, and we're getting to a stage where we want to try and create that shape on the outer, on the inner. So gently bring that gouge round, nice and slowly, letting the gouge do all the work. Don't need to force it. If you push too hard, you're going to end up with loads of chattering and jumping about. As you come to the middle there, you want to be slowing your feeder rate down, because the middle's not going as quick as the outside. So therefore, you need to slow your feed down a little bit to allow for that. So I'm just going to double check, make sure my chuck's tight, because it sounds a little bit rattly for some reason. Might be that I was being a bit aggressive with it. So again, we're going to bring our gouge over, start our cut, making sure the flute is following the shape of a bowl. Gradually feed that around, trying to follow the shape. Don't force your tool, because all you're going to do is generate heat and blunt your tool quicker.
Robert Bortwood said, amazing, Steve.
Thank you, Robert.
Colin said, can tell you're doing demos. Love your explanations on how to use the tools. Benjamin said, has anyone got the Axminster Woodturning Universal Measuring Caliper?
No.
Kevin C. Ryan is on. He's from Ryan Woodturning, enjoying the stream. Happy to be back in Woodturning action after losing my workshop. Oh, no.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad to hear it, that you're back in action, but sorry to hear you lost your wood turn. So what I'm doing is, when I'm going in my shape, I'm actually looking on the outside of my bowl to follow my shape. I'm not looking at the tool here. I'm looking here to try and guesstimate the way I want the tool to work to create my inner shape. So we're just going to move our tool rest around a little bit to give us a little bit more support for our gouge. So I'm just going to stop it and feel my thickness to see how, number one, to make sure that I'm going to the same shape of what my bowl is, which I am, and two, that gives me a rough idea how thick I am. I'm around about 5mm thick on the high points, but only maybe 8mm thick on the narrow points. So we don't want too much more out of there, because we don't want it really, we don't want it wafer thin, but we want it thin enough to look nice. So it's a little bit thicker from about here. So we could perhaps take another couple of mil out of there, but obviously we've got this core in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my wall thickness up to there, and then take this out to finish the bottom off. If I remove this now, I may get a little bit of vibration through my wall, which I don't really want to do. I want to try and keep the wall as stable as possible, because I don't want to be loads of chatter lines in it. Oops. So nice and gentle. Let the gouge do all the work. Don't force it. Let it cut its own pace. And gently follow my line round. So it gives me a continuous thickness all the way around my bowl.
Robert Wise said, fantastic, Steve. Great demo.
Thank you.
Raymond Wise, sorry, did I say Robert?
I don't know. No, yeah, I think you did say Robert, yeah. So I'm just going to pick up that cut around the bottom there. Now it's a little bit thicker from there, so I'm just going to take away all this rubbish material here, and I'm going to pick up that cut from the bottom there and gradually feed my tool round. Now just remember, if you've got a mortise in the bottom like I've got, the mortise is thinner than the bottom of the wall anyway, because your mortise goes in deeper than what the bottom of the bowl is. So you want to allow for that. So that's now about the right thickness, or the same thickness up to that point there. So that means I've got a nice finish edge here, no chattering in there, no tool lines. A little bit of a ghost line there, but that's where the heel of the gouge is gently rubbed. So I could get rid of that by changing to a 60-degree gouge and just gently feather it around, which I will do. If you try and sand it, you might not get it out through sanding. Sometimes where it's been burnished with the edge of the, or the heel of the gouge, that won't polish out all the time. So we're going to change to a 60-degree grind and just gently go around that corner. Try and lose that little bit of ghosting. And we don't want to rub that heel no more, because that will cause that ghosting to come back. It's when you rub this part of your gouge on the wall as you come around the bottom there, that's what causes that ghost line, which has gone now, which that is just a transition line between the two cuts. So we know where we are. So we're about the right thickness there. So we can go back to our finger grind and just clean off this piece here. So we're just going to move this out a little tiny bit. Get rid of this waste in the middle here. Right, so now we can move our tool rest back in. We'll go back to our 60-degree grind now, so we don't get that ghosting back, and we're just going to bring that gouge along this edge and create the bottom of our bowl. Again, remembering that bit on the mortise is thinner than the rest of the base of our bowl. So we're just going to check that. So we've got a little bit of a hump in the middle from here, so we're just going to take a little, only a half a mil maybe. So we're just going to take that out. So from about here, probably boring you.
Amy put, Olivia's fallen asleep. Don't take offence, Steve. It is 11:26 p.m. here, lol.
I won't be offended. Right, so that's got rid of that
Sends
little.
me to sleep as well, so.
So that's got rid of that hump. Then we've just got a little bit of a ridge there. I'm just going to gently feather out, and that should be enough. So we're just going to get rid of that. So from here, just there, just to feather that out. That's much better. Much, much better. Right. So we can sand that now. So I'm going to use a drill to sand that. So
You said drill?
Drill, yeah.
Why?
because it's quicker. So we're going to bring our drill away from us, move it to the edge. And we're going to keep this edge here, not past this edge here, because we want a nice sharp transition line there. You bring it past, you will round off that edge. You want to try and keep it nice and square. So we're just going to make sure we've got a nice smooth transition line, which I think we have. Just got a little mark in there, so we'll just get rid of that. Just double check. Still got a little bit in there.
John Mooney said, "Thanks, got to go. We'll watch the last watch the last on catch up. Have a good afternoon, all." Bye,
John,
John.
thanks for coming over, mate. Don't feel right there. I feel strange there. Just don't feel right. I feel better. I feel better. Right, so let's go through the grits quickly. So I'm going to take this up to 400 grit. Hi, Susie, how are you?
Sorry. She's put, "Good afternoon, everybody. Just back from a motorbike ride, just in time for in ahead of a thunderstorm. Got only slightly wet. That was good time." And then Susie. Not forecast rain here for today, but it's lovely now. It's not forecast rain there now, which is typical because I've done my washing and put it on the clothes horse. And you had a bit of a thunderstorm on Friday, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. So that's up to 400 grit. So we'll just clean it out. So a nice continuous curve, which is nice. So we're going to sand and seal that.
As you put, I'm fine, thank you. She got chased home by a thunderstorm. Hope it didn't make you break the speed limit, Susie.
Speed limit's just the guide. Right, so a bit of sand and sealer, chestnut sand and sealer, as always. Diluted 60-40. So we're going to give this a couple of coats. So we don't want to be getting sand and sealer on our coloured pieces because it will take the paint off. So we just want to try and get as close as we can without taking that paint off. So that's our first coat. Just denib that. She's a bit fumey. So we'll put our second coat on. It's very porous, that bit. We're soaking that right in.
That's not affect any of the colouring you've done.
No, shouldn't do.
And got no sawdust stuck to it.
Sawdust. What, the
front of it.
You mean the bottom?
Bottom even. Top, bottom.
No, it shouldn't be. That's dry, so the air gonna blow it off anyway. So 2 coats of sand and sealer. Obviously you could put more on if you wanted, but I think 2 coats will be enough.
Susie put, Nikki, I trust that in wet weather no police should be on the roads. Klondike put, I missed a lot, looks very cool.
Thank you, Lewis. So now we're ready for our final finish, which is going to be Hampshire Sheen High Gloss Wax. So we're going to do the same. We're going to give it a couple of coats. First coat down first, buffed off, and then we'll apply a second coat, making sure you get a nice little tissue, padded tissue. So rub that in. Don't need a massive amount, just enough just to cover our piece really. Making sure we work it in really well. Again, try not to get it over our paint because with the black that will just end up being white smear marks all over the black and the colour. So we're trying to keep it off the colour. So get a clean bit of tissue. Oh my god, tissue's run out. We get a clean bit of tissue. Again, nice little pad. Just gently buff it. Don't apply no pressure, just let the tissue, friction between the tissue and the piece do all the work. It should bring up a nice little sheen. Making sure we remove all the excess wax. And we'll just do a second coat. So second, just rub this into our edge again, making sure we don't get on our coloured areas. just going to buff that off.
Crystal said, "Nice, Steve. You're getting good at this." Practice. He practices a lot.
Thanks. Wish I had more time to practice, that's for sure.
You've been ill quite a bit, though, haven't you, mate?
Well, it's not that. I just don't get the time with work and everything else. But never mind. My day will come. Right, so we'll just turn our tissue. Just use that just to finally buff this up. Want to remove all the wax, but not pushing too hard, because all you're going to do if you push too hard is burnish off the wax you've just put on. So that's 2 coats of high gloss wax. You could go more if you wanted a deeper shine, but I think for this that will do. Ouch. So let's get this out. So there we go. Just a little bit of a sheen to it, shine to it, whatever you want to call it. On the inside, nice and curved. No flat spots, no humps, no bumps. Nice continuous curve all the way around the corner, and it's around about the same thickness. It's a little bit, obviously remembering your tenon, because the tenon is quite a bit deeper than that. So I would imagine it's about 2.5, 3 mil thick between there and the tenon. That's around about 5 mil thick on this point here. So other than that, looks good. So a bit of colouring, bit of texturing, as always. Your definition of texturing, so you can use whatever you want to use, do whatever you want, and have a go. So let me take this smock off because I'm sweating.
Nice.
Get rid of that camera out of the way. Turn them lights off. Dink. Go back here.
I like them colours. They're nice.
So there you go. Rainbow waxes. What colour do we have? Vivid blue, aqua blue, green, and red. So there you can see. I don't know if you can see
Alex of Wooden Thing said, "Can you lacquer over the rainbow waxes?"
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Malcolm Douglas said, "Lovely job, Steve."
Thank you very much. So, as always, your interpretation to texture.
Graham Brown said, "Very nice."
There's loads. Thank you very much. There's loads of ways to texture, and there's loads of different methods to texture. But as always, it's your method and your interpretation. So, be adventurous, and let's see some extravagant pieces.
Dr. Bob said, "Very good."
Thank you.
60, very nice. Susie said, "Looks lovely."
Thank
Copper
you.
beautiful bowl, Steve.
Thank you. But looks like it hasn't got, well, yeah, bowl. Well, yeah, the idea is bowl. Yeah, sorry, I was going to say it doesn't have to be a bowl, but the hashtag is a bowl no bigger than 8 inches. Textured, whether you texture it on the outside, the inside, or the rim, is up to you. But it's got to be textured. So as always, get your pictures over to me by, what's that, 19th?
19th, yeah.
The 19th of this month, Friday the 19th of this month. And then I will show them off on the 21st on the Sunday Lunchtime Live. And I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. So, is there any questions before we go?
So Steve's emails in the chat. Woodward's Recon said, "Centerpiece, awesome live as always." William Kenny looks great, Steve, nicely done. Alex is Wooden Things. Wait, says, "Very nice, Steve." Dr. Bob, "Will it glow under black lights?" Gerard said, "We'll try to emulate your effort, Steve." Clint at Wood Dancers is on. He said, "Nice colour, Steve."
Thank you.
Pete said, "I interpret texture as smoothish with tool marks."
Thank you, everybody. I think we're there. Sorry we ran over a little bit of time. Sorry we went a little bit later.
So you should be disgusting. Someone's got things to do, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I forgot EastEnders is on today.
Not on Sunday, mate.
Right, so we'll go then. Right, so thank you very much for coming over and watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please smash that like and share button. Don't forget Terry's on tonight, Brian's on tomorrow, and then the normal people are on through the week. I can never remember who's on and where and when. I would imagine, is it Paul Finley's on tomorrow lunchtime? I'm not 100% sure. I think Paul's on next on Mondays now, lunchtime. So go over and support Paul. If you're not subscribed to Paul, then please do. And if you're not subscribed to any of the other guys, then please do, because your support means the world to everybody. So anyway, we're going to go. Don't forget, we're going to be announcing this year's Makers Auction charity in the next couple of weeks. I just need to send a couple of emails to make sure that it goes ahead. But hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we will be organising or starting to organise this year's Makers Auction. So, looking forward to that again this year. Hopefully, we can do some good deeds for another charity this year. It'll be a different charity. Well, not me just personally. I think personally we should do a different charity every year because it benefits more than one charity. And doing the same one for the same charity every year don't really seem to be the same. So it's a bit more enthusiastic if you use different charities. So hopefully we're going to be looking into that, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, don't forget hashtag week, hashtag textured bowl. No bigger than 8-inch blank or no bigger than 8-inch bowl, finished bowl. Textured on the bottom, side, top, middle, however you want to do it. Your interpretation of texturing. So have fun. Look forward to seeing what you've got. And don't forget to send those email or pictures to me, skcrafts@btnet.com. Other than that, thank you very much. No, Colin, your logo in the bottom doesn't count. That's cheating.
No, you didn't say that.
He's put my logo doesn't half
But my
stand out.
logo doesn't half stand out. It means on the t-shirt.
Oh, on the t-shirt, yeah. Where are you? Here, right in the middle here, look. So anyway, what was I going to say? Anyway, yeah, so thank you very much. Have a great week. If I don't see you before, I will see you next Friday. Other than that, take care. Have a great week. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Say bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick. Bye. Take
See you later,
care.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks.